The Man Who Lived in the Walls, the disturbing story of Daniel LaPlante. Sometimes, the scariest monsters aren't the ones we make up. They're the ones living right next to us, or worse, inside our walls. Have you ever felt like someone was watching you, even when you were alone? Imagine living in your own home and sensing that something is just off. Little things go missing, doors open, that you swore were closed, and one day, you hear breathing, not your own. This isn't a movie plot. This is the real story of Daniel LaPlante, a boy who didn't just break into people's homes, he lived inside their walls. And what happened in 1986 still haunts the small town of Townsend, Massachusetts. Because Daniel wasn't a monster with fang or claws. He was a teenager, and his evil was terrifyingly human. Daniel LaPlante was born in 1970. From the very beginning, his life was marked by pain. Reports say he was abused by several adults, including his own father and even a psychiatrist. He was isolated at school, struggled academically, diagnosed with dyslexia. But the real darkness, it wasn't on the surface. Neighbors described him as strange, quiet, disconnected, like something was missing. And something was. Because Daniel didn't just feel invisible, he began to believe that watching others in secret gave him a sense of power. In 1986, Daniel met a teenage girl named Tina Bowen. He found her number through a friend, called her, and pretended to be someone else, a charming, athletic boy. They talked for weeks on the phone. When they finally met, she realized he had lied. He was not charming. He was not athletic. He was unsettling. But what happened next is where the horror begins. After being rejected, Daniel broke into the Bowens' home. He didn't steal. He didn't leave signs. Instead, he stayed. He lived inside their walls for weeks, moving silently through crawl spaces, watching the family, breathing behind the drywall, sometimes whispering. The Bowen family began to notice strange things. Food would disappear, objects moved, toilets flushed on their own. At first, they blamed the house, or each other, until one night they found Daniel, not sneaking in, not trying to run. He was just standing in the hallway, wearing the clothes of Tina's dead mother, face painted, holding a knife. He had built a shrine inside the walls, lit candles, left food offerings, as if trying to summon the spirit of someone he had never even met. He wasn't just hiding. He believed he was part of the family. And when they ran, terrified, Daniel vanished again, into the walls. The police were called, they searched the house, and eventually found a crawl space hidden behind a closet. Inside, Daniel was curled up, dirty, smiling. The passageways he had created let him move through the house without ever being seen, like a ghost, a parasite. But that wasn't the end. After being released from juvenile detention, Daniel's behavior took a darker turn. In 1987, he entered a neighbor's home and ended the lives of a woman and her two children. They were found with signs of blunt force trauma, no clear motive, no warning, only anger, emptiness, and silence. Daniel was arrested soon after, tried in court, and sentenced to multiple life terms. What makes this story terrifying isn't just the violence, it's the psychology behind it. Daniel LaPlante wasn't a supernatural being. He wasn't possessed. He was a boy, twisted by trauma, abandoned by society. But where many find empathy, he found control. He turned isolation into obsession, and obsession into horror. And maybe that's what makes this so disturbing. There are people like Daniel out there, watching, waiting, and sometimes inside. The story of Daniel LaPlante forces us to ask, how well do we really know the people around us? And how thin is the wall between sanity and madness? If you like this video, consider subscribing. There's more darkness to uncover. And sometimes, the truth is already in your house.